Welcome to the EQ video tip. I'm your host, Eric Forsetter, and as always, it's great to have you here. We're going to jump into the tip right after we go through the goals of EQ video tip. Welcome back. This week's tip is an amazing one. It comes to us from Michaeline Doucleff, who talks about if you're stuck in the rut, how do you get out of it? And sometimes joy takes a little practice. So Michaeline did some research and actually came upon a lady named Michelle Chioda, who's a psychologist at the University or Arizona State University. And Michelle had been finding herself stuck in the same emotions day in and day out, looking at the same computer screen, texting her friends, not doing enough, but it felt like her emotions were trapped and she wasn't able to get out of what we call a rut. And a lot of us fall into these ruts these days, especially with working from home or going through the same over and over tasks. We're going to talk about how to get out of that rut and bring joy back into our lives. Let's jump into the 3 tips that Michelle and Michaeline have for us right now. Tip number 1, and that's really what all the tips are about. It's finding positive feelings. Psychologists actually say you can improve your well-being if you recognize moments of positivity within your life and finding those positive feelings, and not only doing that, but bringing them out and valuing them. So our first tip is finding some appreciation. Michelle actually recommends getting into a simple practice. Get together with a few friends, write down 3 things that you're thankful for or grateful for about each other or just about things in general, and then reading them out loud and sharing them with each other. What this is going to do is it will evoke a very positive experience and positive feeling that you will send not only to yourselves but to others as well. And what she's seen so far is that when people do this, they appreciate others more and they enjoy sharing their positive emotions with the other people. And it not only does it affirm positive emotions, it ingrains in them a positive bond between one another. So take some time, figure out things that you're grateful for, and then pull that together so that at the end of the day you have a positive feeling and start to bring yourself out of that rut. Tip number 2, take a walk or a moment in awe. And just taking 5 minutes outside each day where you can intentionally drift yourself and let your mind wander and turn your thoughts off will help you in terms of bringing that joy back to yourself. And when you do that, either turn off your cell phone or even better, leave it at home for those 5 minutes. Now, a lot of people say, well, I live in a city, I don't live near somewhere where I could see awe. Well, believe it or not, there's awe all around us. And Piercarlo Valdesco of Claremont McKenna College, he said, hey, even looking at a sidewalk where there's a weed or something coming up through the sidewalk and blooming or just getting out of the trap that the sidewalk provides for it is something of awe. Because imagine, just this little plant is coming through this huge piece of concrete. How did that actually happen? So take a moment and give yourself an opportunity to experience awe. For those of you who live near a forest or live near a lake or a river or something interesting, try to find time to do that as well. Even if you live in a city, there's places within the city where there is awe, and figure out those places. Take 5 to 10 minutes to give yourself a moment to let your mind wander and bring awe into your life. That concludes this week's EQ video tip. I know many of you may be in a rut from time to time. Try one of these or all of these tips to help yourselves get out of that rut and bring joy back into your lives. So that concludes our EQ video tip for today. Try incorporating some of these tips into your daily routine. But remember, use what works best for you and personalize it for yourself. Thank you always to our great research team for providing us with some great tips today. As always on EQ Video Tip, we want to end with gratitude. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Here are some resources that you can use if you want more information on EQ going forward. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.